means to do a data-driven decision making. That's very important these days. Okay. I cannot say that I feel that Bhubaneswar area में ये product सबसे ज़्यादा चल रहा है. No, it's not like that. You have a proper way which is backed by data and you can take the decision. Plus, you will be able to secure the data as you want. So let's say if you are pulling data from multiple sources and storing it in one location, right? You can make sure that certain data is accessible to only certain people, and then you can restrict role-based access control is possible. And that's the reason you need this analytical platform. Now we understand that it's not working. So now we know that we definitely need an analytical platform for storing my data from various sources. But what is the way how it is implemented? So you would have heard about data warehouses like Teradata, or maybe SQL Server. Many organizations use as data warehouse. Even Oracle being used as data warehouse in many organizations. The problem with these systems are it requires large upfront costs. Okay, you have to pay for in lakhs of crores to get those kind of machines because they are huge machines, high capacity. It takes a lot of money to actually run. Okay, do one thing before that.
এটা ভুবনেশ্বরে হচ্ছে।
Using that. Plus, you remember earlier I showed you there is a separate ETL tool that you will be required.
এখানে গুগলের নানান এক্সপার্টরা রয়েছে, তারা বিভিন্ন রকমের জ্ঞান দিচ্ছে আর কি।
That's inbuilt within these modern data warehouses these days. Okay, it directly pulled from
আমার
multiple
এটা
sources.
আইডি কার্ড আমার
With how many charges
card
can pull
দেখাচ্ছে।
from all of this and store it in. So you are actually avoiding the cost of
This is my ID card.
So your cost reduces drastically. Let's move. Now, I've been talking about data analytics platform, but you need to understand that there are two different ways how we can implement data analytics platform. One is data warehouse, and the other is data. Okay, there's definitely some difference between them. Okay. When you say data warehouse,
খাওয়া দাওয়ার ব্যবস্থা রয়েছে, লাঞ্চের ব্যবস্থা, পুরো বুফে সিস্টেম। সেই জায়গাটা অন্য জায়গায় রয়েছে, সেটা এখনও স্টার্ট হয়নি। লাঞ্চ টাইম 1টার পরে রয়েছে। এখন বিভিন্ন স্পিকাররা দ্বারা হচ্ছে বক্তৃতা দিচ্ছে আর কি।
All of that is possible using data lake, which was not possible in data warehouse. Another conceptual difference between data warehouse and data lake is data warehouse generally, you store well schematized data. When you know the schema, this is how my data is going to come. That's when you use data warehouse. But data lake is like you don't know the schema. I'm not going to use my data as a
ডেটা অ্যানালাইসিস একজন গুগলের ডেটা অ্যানালাইসিস
irrespective of I don't
উনি
know how
বক্তৃতা
I'm
দিচ্ছেন।
going to use it further, but let me store it first. And those are the use cases where you should be using data lake. So you replicate the schema of your sources and then store it in data lake, irrespective of downstream use case of that. मैं कैसे यूज करूंगा वो डेटा को मुझे नहीं पता, फ्यूचर में कभी तो यूज करूंगा, ठीक है? I'll store it into my data in such cases. Plus, the purpose of data warehouse is, you want to attach some kind of BI tool. I want to show some dashboards on top of that. That's where in such cases I will use data warehouse.
এই প্রোগ্রামটার নাম হচ্ছে ক্লাউড কমিউনিটি ডে। এই দেখতে পাচ্ছেন গুগল ডেভেলপার গ্রুপ ভুবনেশ্বরে এটা হচ্ছে
Some regressions.
ক্লাউড
I
কমিউনিটি
want to find out some ML analytics, advanced analytics capability. That's where I will use data lake. So now that you understand, that what is data warehouse and what is data lake, this conceptual difference between them. But I would go ahead one step further and try to explain that, what you are seeing here is something called as medallion architecture. Okay. Now, probably it might be little advanced topic for you, but you can think of like, anytime I have multiple systems from where I want to, multiple databases from where I want to pull the data, those are these systems. Generally, whenever we want to pull data into my analytics platform, generally we store it into 3 layers.
এইসব বুঝাচ্ছে।
Analytics platform, okay? Generally the first layer is, terminologies can change, but generally it is data lake. So you replicate the data as is from source to list. Then from data lake, I apply the schema on that. I format the data in the right way I want, and then move it to data warehouse. And then on top of that, I have something called as data marts, which is very specific to your downstream uses. So data lake, data warehouse, and data mart. Now the terminology.
কংগ্রাচুলেশন তো ভালো, এদিকে মানে সমস্যা হচ্ছে আর কি, ঘুম নাই কিছু নাই, জার্নি করা বিরাট সমস্যা, কাজেও সমস্যা হচ্ছে। আজকে ইউটিউবে ভিডিও হয়তো দিতে পারবো না, কাজ একদিন বন্ধ হয়ে গেল। সমস্যাও আছে, আবার ভালো দিকও আছে, খারাপ দিকও আছে।
Schematize the data, you clean up the data, you format the data, and then move it into data.
ভুবনেশ্বরে ওই রেল স্টেশন থেকে 10 কিলোমিটার দূরে।
Aggregate the data, make it very specific to downstream application, your dashboards, your ML models. You make it very specific to that. That's called data mart. Data lake, data warehouse, data mart. Okay. But this collectively will make up my entire data analytics platform, because I am enabling data lake, data warehouse, and data mart, all of three in my one data analytics platform. But the important part is, what do I need to implement? What do I need in my analytics platform? What all features do I need? So these are the things, right? It needs support for scalable and efficient storage. All 3 layers that I talked about should have scalable, efficient storage.
ঠিক আছে, পরে আসবো যদি সময় হয়,
There
এখন
should be
থাকছি।
multiple ways to ingest data from various sources into that.